Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Lentisa with Nani. Today I bring you a detailed tutorial on how to make this beautiful trendy 2-in-1 puff sleeve with slits at the sides. So I made this tutorial on how to make a peplum top with yoke and your bustier with collar, and I attached this sleeve to it. So I thought to bring you how to make this sleeve. It's a 2-in-1 sleeve. One is a straight sleeve and the other one is a puff sleeve with slits by the side. So if you want to learn how to do this, let's get right to the video. Now to do this, you'll need your basic sleeve, and I already have a tutorial, a very detailed tutorial on my channel on how to draft the basic sleeve, so I won't go over that again so that this video doesn't get too long. But right here I have my basic sleeve, and the length is 18 inches. Okay, it's 18 inches long. So that's the basic sleeve. I have two pieces and I used my lace to cut out the basic sleeve just to differentiate the two sleeves and to make it more beautiful. Okay, so you need to use probably a lace or a net for the basic sleeve and your ankara for the puff sleeve, depending on how you want it. All right, so this is my ankara fabric and I'll be using it to cut my puff sleeve. So I'm going to fold my sleeve in bias. Okay, I'll fold my fabric in bias like so, just fold into two. Now this is dependent on how wide you want the sleeve or how puffy you want the sleeve to be, so you can fold with a bigger material and fold as wide as you want to create enough puffiness. I'm on the big side, so I run away from anything that is always too puffy, so that's why I'm using this little fabric. So you place your basic sleeve on it like so. You need to trace your cap height. All right, so just to trace the head or the opening of your sleeve or the top of your sleeve. So you just trace it out because the sleeve need to match, the two sleeves need to match around the armhole, right? So you're going to trace the basic sleeve, just trace the armhole. All right, so we have that. I'll rule it out just to identify that that's where my sleeve starts from. So that is it. I've ruled it out. So that's the starting point of my sleeve. Now then measure the length I want for the puff sleeve. So depending on what you want, if you want your puff sleeve to be 15 inches, you're going to be adding 3 inches to it, just increase the puffiness. So I am making my sleeve length to be 16 inches. Okay, so if you want 13 inches, then it means you're going to be adding extra 3 inches or 4 inches to it, just to increase the puffiness, so that when you fold it inwards, it's going to puff out very well. I hope you understand what I mean. So like for me, I don't want excess puffiness because I'm on the big side and I do not want to create too much drama towards my sleeve area and make me look bigger than I already is. So these are the things you need to pay attention to whenever you're making puff sleeves or big sleeves for plus size people. Okay, and puff sleeves are so trendy nowadays, so you need to apply caution when you're making a puff sleeve so that you don't end up making your client a masquerade. Right, so I'll just cut out following the marks that I have made like so and cut it out. Right, if you're watching till now, thank you for joining me, thank you for being here. To my existing subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. I love you so much, thank you. To my new subscribers, you're welcome. This is Lentisa with Nani, and here I upload sewing tutorials and pattern drafting every week. So if you like the sound of that, please consider subscribing and join this beautiful sewing community right now. So I've already cut out my sleeve, so I'll just go and place it on the remaining part of my fabric and cut out to get the other side of the sleeve. Okay, we need two, one for the left hand side and one for the right hand side. Right, so I'll just go place it like so and make sure that I get all the points. Okay, if it's not enough, please get another fabric and place it for you to cut out your sleeves. So you can see I'm checking it out. Another thing you need to learn about fashion designing is fabric management. So you need to know how to manipulate your fabrics to be enough for you. Right, so I'm done cutting out the two sleeves and this is what I have. Right, it is not big, it is not very puffy, and that is what I want. Okay, because we already have Christian mother hands now, so if you want to now add drama to it, everybody will not think you're carrying the weight of the whole world on your hands. So that is why. Right, so I'm going to fold that into two and I would slit it open. Like I said, it has a slit by the side. Right, so I'm going to slit it open for the puff sleeve, right, not the basic sleeve. So when I slit it open, I'll then go and get my basic sleeve and I'll notch the midpoint. Very, very important, you need to notch it. So you fold it into two, get the midpoint and make sure you place a notch at that area. It's going to help you when you're sewing or coupling the sleeves together. right? Because the other one you slitted it open, so you need the midpoint on the basic sleeve to help you, to guide you through. So I'm just going to go and hem the bottom of my sleeve, my basic sleeve. Then I also sew in my side seam allowance. Okay, so remember, when you're making your sleeve, whatever allowance you had, just go and sew it in after folding or hemming your sleeve bottom, right? So I'll do that for the two sides of the sleeve, and I'll come back and show you what I have. Then for the puff sleeve, remember I've slitted it open. Okay, so I'll be having two for the left and two for the right hand side. So I'll get the first two pieces and I'll place them like so. Place them wrong sides, right sides facing each other or good sides facing each other. Then I would go upwards from the hem. Okay, I'll make sure I match them up together so that it's not moving around. So from the hem, you're going to go up by 1.5 inches. You can see I've made 1.5 inches. I'm going to make a mark at that point, so I'm going to sew down, okay, with at least 3/4 of an inch or half of an inch. So I'm going to just sew down from 1.5 inches down to the hem or the bottom of the sleeve. Okay, so after doing that, I would then go and fold the hem, the upper part. Okay, I'll do that and come and show you, and I have done that. So this is one sleeve. I've finished everything concerning this sleeve, so I'll just use it to show you an illustration, and also on the other one, right? So you can see my sleeve. I have even hemmed the bottom with my bias, and I've folded the upper edge. Now remember, I told you to go and sew down to 1.5 inches that you came up by. Okay, so just like I've done to the other sleeve, I'll then go and fold in the slitted ends. Okay, fold it into two. Okay, and stitch it all the way down. Okay, fold it into two and stitch it all the way down. Do the same for the other side. Fold into two, one fold, then the second fold, then you go and stitch it all the way down, right? Then afterwards, you're going to come in with your bias to hem the bottom of the sleeve. So this is my bias tip, right? So you're going to place your bias on the right side. Okay, so flip the fabric to the right side, then you place you go and see, you know how you normally stitch your bias tape. Okay, so because I'm going to be using this bias tape, okay, or that edge as casing for my elastic, so I'll just go and stitch my bias tape round the hem of the sleeve. Then I'll fold. You can see the way I folded the hem so that I'll create allowance for my elastic to pass through. So I'll just go and run a stitch on my bias. Okay, then I'll come and show you how to fold it. Right, so after doing that, you can see I've stitched my bias tape. Okay, just one end of the bias tape. So what I'll do is to show you how to fold to get what I have done for the other sleeve. Okay, so remember our elastic is half inch. It's a half inch elastic, so you're going to fold in a way that you have at least 3/4. Okay, you can see I have close to 1 inch or so. What I have there is 3/4. That's close to 1 inch, right? So you need to create room for your elastic band to pass through. So you're going to fold like so. Okay, folding the fabric over, so you have at least half inch for the fabric, then plus the bias tape. That's going to create at least 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch space. Okay, so you're going to be folding it up like this and stitch it all round. Okay, so make sure you fold your fabric inwards by at least half inch, then adding with the extra half inch on the bias will make it around 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch, and it will create enough room for your elastic band to pass through freely. So I'll just go and stitch it just like I've done to the other sleeve. Right, so then I've also folded up the edges. You remember I told you to go and fold the slitted edges, right? So I'm done. Everything is properly finished and clean. So you need to cut out all your excess threads, to give you a very neat job. Right, so I folded the edges. So this is my elastic band, and I'm using 11 inches for my elastic. Okay, so depending on how you want yours to be, so I'm going to use my safety pin and pass the elastic band into the casing that I made using my bias. All right, you know that folding the hem of this flare top sleeve would have been a little bit difficult, so that's why I taped with the bias and created room for my elastic band. It gives you a very neat job, clean, sweet, and everything delicious, right? Okay, so dresses are not supposed to be delicious. Right, so I'll just be putting in my elastic using my safety pin and be pulling it all the way inwards like so. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, so you pull, make sure you pull it out towards the other end, like so. So that's how to attach, to fix your elastic band. Okay, if you didn't know how to do that previously, you have learned how to do that in this video. So this is how to attach your elastic band to your sleeve, right? So after putting in the elastic band, you're going to fold it towards the right side. Okay, right sides facing each other, and you're going to stitch it down with your allowance. Remember, you sewn the allowance for the basic sleeve, so if your allowance is 1 inch, you're going to go and sew it down by 1 inch. So I'll just get my pin and pin it down so that when I take it to the sewing machine, it's not going to come open, and I'll start from the beginning. So just fold it like so, match up the ends, and go and sew using your seam allowance. For me, it is 1 inch, so I'll just go and stitch with 1 inch seam allowance. So I'll go and do that and come back and show you. So I have my puff sleeve ready. You can see how the bottom is. I've sewn in my allowance. You can see how it is. Right, so what I'm going to do is to get the basic sleeve. Okay, remember I've told you to also prepare your basic sleeve, fold the hem, and also sew in your side seam allowance for the sleeve, and I have done that, you can see. So I'll just go and fold it to the right side. All right, so push it all to the right side. So what you're going to do next is to insert the basic sleeve into the puff sleeve. Okay, so when you open it up like so, you can even go and iron so that everything is going to lay really flat. So what you do is to insert the basic sleeve into the puff sleeve. Right, so remember I told you to make a notch at the midpoint of your sleeve, at the sleeve head. Okay, so you're going to match up your side seam. Okay, remember the side seam. Match up the side seam of the basic sleeve to the side seam of the puff sleeve, like so. You're going to open it up and match it up, then pin it down. Okay, so make sure it's matching, then you get your pin and hold it down. Right, okay, so afterwards you're going to pin the puff sleeve round the basic sleeve. Now starting from the notch area that you made, remember that we have folded in the sides of the puff sleeve with 1 inch. Okay, that's ½ inch on two sides. So you're going to make a mark at 1 inch after your notch and place the open end of the puff sleeve on it. Okay, then go pin it down. You go and pin it all the way round. You can see, so you just go pin it round and stitch it down. Okay, when you pin it, you stitch the lace fabric to your Ankara fabric. All right, so you're just going to pin it all round. So when you pin it round, you're going to see that you're going to have at least 1 inch gap, or okay, from the center front, or okay, from your notched area, from the notch area of your basic sleeve. Okay, so that's what creates that open illusion that you would see. Okay, that the Ankara will be open for you to be seeing the lace underneath. All right, so that's what creates that illusion. So you just go pin it all round. You can see, so when I get to my notched area, okay, when I get to the center front, okay, of my Ankara, of my lace fabric, you can see that I have like 1 inch gap there. Right, so I just go and stitch the lace to Ankara, and this is my puff sleeve. Okay, right, so I've stitched it down, I've stitched the lace to the Ankara. You can see what it looks like. Okay, so what I'll do would be to get my blouse and attach the sleeve round my armhole. Okay, so this is my blouse. Right, so I'll just go and attach the sleeve to the armhole. Okay, match up the side seam and attach it all round the armhole of your blouse, and guys, you have it. So this is what it looks like. Okay, mine is not so puffy because you can see baby girl is on the plus size. So when you now add so much drama, you now have ndine mama is so qua. Right, so if you want to learn how to make this blouse, I'll be posting or dropping the link in the description box, so you get to watch how I made this beautiful blouse. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you found it helpful, now You know what to do now. Like the video, share with your friends and family. Please subscribe if you aren't yet subscribed, and turn on your post notification to notify you when I upload, not upload new videos. Yeah, give them, give them, give them, give them, give them, give them, give them.